And when they have no need for any more work of this sort to be done, then they decree that the working day be shortened, for the magistrates never force the citizens to carry out more work than is necessary unless they wish to. For their political system is designed to pursue one objective before all others. As far as society's needs permit, all citizens should have as much of their time as possible released from productive labor, so that they can devote themselves to the free development of their minds. For true happiness, they believe, is to be found in spiritual development. At this point, I should explain the terms on which citizens relate to each other, the actions that take place between them, and the way in which goods are distributed among them. Each city is made up of households, and the members of each household are usually related by birth or marriage. When girl children grow up, they are given away in marriage and go live in their households of their husbands. But sons and their sons in turn remain in the household and obey the eldest male inhabitant, unless his faculties have been diminished by old age, in which case the next eldest takes over from him. There are 6,000 households in each city, not counting the surrounding countryside. In order to ensure that their cities have neither too many inhabitants nor too few, care is taken to ensure that no household has more than 16 or fewer than 10 adult members. Obviously, they cannot predetermine the number of children, but it is easy for them to transfer children when they reach adulthood from larger households to smaller ones. But if a city simply has too many inhabitants, the excess number is used to make good shortages in other cities on the island. Whenever the population of the island as a whole becomes excessive, they select inhabitants from every city to emigrate to the nearby mainland and establish a colony governed according to their own laws. They select a location where the indigenous peoples have land to spare, land that lies uncultivated. They welcome into their number those inhabitants who are willing to live according to their principles and adopt their way of life. The two groups easily blend together to their mutual benefit. The Utopians' procedures ensure that the land, which its original inhabitants had found infertile and barren, produces plenty to support its increased population. But those who refuse to live under their laws, they drive out of the territory that they have claimed for themselves, and they go to war against any who resist them. For they believe it is entirely legitimate to wage war against any society that does not use the land it owns, but leaves it waste and uncultivated, while at the same time preventing others from using and owning it, though they are entitled by the law of nature to use it to feed themselves. If some crisis should cause any city to lose so many inhabitants that they cannot restore the population without reducing other cities on the island below their quota, then they bring back people from the colonies to make up that number. Only twice in their whole history has this been necessary, on both occasions because of a dreadful outbreak of the plague. They would rather see their colonies wiped out than to allow any of the cities on the island to go into decline. But let me get back to the way of life that citizens share. I have already told you that the oldest male member of each household is in charge. Wives take orders from their husbands, children from their parents, and in general, the younger from the older. The whole city is divided into 4 equal districts, and in the middle of each district, there is a market where all sorts of goods are to be found. The products of each household are brought here and left in a storeroom belonging to that household. They are then redistributed into warehouses, each of which contains goods of a particular sort. To these warehouses, the head of each household comes to look for the goods which he and his family need. When he finds what he is looking for, he takes it away without handing over any money or making any sort of payment. Why should anything be denied him? There is more than enough of everything, and no one worries that someone will want to claim more than his household needs. Why suspect someone of taking away too much when you know he is confident that there will always be enough to go around? Fear of hunger makes every species of animal acquisitive and grasping. Human beings are unique in that they amass possessions out of sheer pride, for they glory in outdoing each other in the conspicuous display of wealth. But given the way utopian society is organized, there's not the slightest opportunity for greed to gain a foothold. But the first priority of the care of the sick, who are looked after in public hospitals. Every city has four within its jurisdiction, though they stand a little outside the walls. They are so large that they might be compared to 4 little towns. Their size is intended to ensure that no matter how many sick people they may have to care for, the patients will not be squeezed in together and so made uncomfortable, and to make it possible to isolate effectively those who are infected with contagious diseases, which would be otherwise transmitted to other patients. These hospitals are so admirably designed, they are so well supplied with the resources needed for treating the sick, the care received there is so considerate and attentive, highly skilled doctors do the rounds so frequently that, though it is rude that no sick person is to be sent there against their will, nevertheless, there is scarcely a single person in the whole city who, if they were ill, would not rather be in a hospital bed than their own.